I got into Denver and came into campus and spoke last night and then spent a little bit of time meeting up with folks afterwards. Well, I really geared the talk toward the topic, which is patterns, which is of course something that it's been the connecting thread in my work for probably a couple of decades at this point. So observing pattern, collecting patterns, thinking about patterns' relationship to history, to culture, and then figuring out ways, again, to sort of distill that information and translate it for a viewer through painting. And I also talked quite a bit about process, thinking about the process of how you gather information, how you do research, how that goes into making work that might be incredibly personal on some level, but that hopefully is addressing a larger audience. One of the things I think that's so interesting about pattern that I talked about last night is the fact that we kind of take it for granted. I do think probably the thing that I'm most interested in is this idea that it's something that we kind of scan and don't realize has as much information embedded in it as it actually does. So a kind of closer look at it reveals history, reveals sometimes different kinds of issues about gender or culture or power relationships. And I'm fascinated with the idea that something that appears to be decorative could actually have all this information packed inside of it. The one thing that I often say to students is follow your nose. Allow yourself to be interested in the things that already engage you and don't necessarily disassociate that from your art practice. I think when you're younger, it can be easy to think that there are some activities that you do in your life, and then there are other activities that you do in your studio, and that they are somehow not easily overlappable. We had lunch with students, which was super fun. Actually, that was a really fun talk because I feel like we got to have a sort of more nuanced and informal chat, which was really fun. And we went to the class, I did a short presentation, a kind of informal presentation about the way that I use color in my work specifically. I hope that they can take advantage of some of the experience that I have. I mean, I was in their exact place at a different point in my life. I went to art school too. I remember that the art world and that the life of an artist, or like the artist's way of navigating the world, was really mysterious to me. I was like, what are they doing? How do they make a living? How do they keep making work? How do they get ideas? And I think as an artist and as an educator, because I teach as well, for me, I have gradually learned how important it is to try to be open with students about process and about your own experience with all of those things that they're thinking about.